possibly can. What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Martin Luther King Day, you guys. If you had a day off of school, realize it's not for no reason at all right? It's because we are honoring a guy who did a lot for America and for the world. His name is Martin Luther King Jr. All right, and I'm sure you guys know a lot about him, but just make sure that you do recognize this day in some way, and we're going to recognize it by working hard. Connor and I just worked this morning, so at 6 o'clock, we were honoring Dr. King by working out, doing our boot camp. Anyone showing up to the workout tonight, we will honor him again. All right, and these things remind me of why we have our own celebrations, right? We can't just go 365 days, 66 days a year, and just work out every single day. You do need to stop to reflect, and that's why we have our four yearly community event parties, fundraisers / whatever. All right. So when we do these things, make sure that you show up. I do organize the coins around these events as well, so that you can basically be forced to show up. All right. So this is a holiday, and those are our holidays basically. All right. How Noah at 16 points when he was at 15 on Saturday, and we haven't had anything since. Oh man, I don't know. I don't keep track of it. Possibly because Bryson, who does keep track of it, didn't add the points for that day until that night, possibly the next morning. It all depends on when he updates the attendance. But he's pretty on point with the attendance. I'm pretty sure that Noah's at 16, so you can keep track. But I would if you look at it on our page, all right, we have, let's see. If you look at the rosters page right here, there is a small thing, and I get to try my annotation thing out real quick. All right, let's see if this works. All right, so if I want to annotate it right here, all right, as you scroll down, I don't even know if I can do it, but it says it right about here-ish. All right, last updated. All right, so you can always check to see if it's updated by checking out that little bitty box right there. All right, and you get to see what, like who's leading, whatever, when it was last updated, because it is done by a human being, and that human being is my brother, Bryson. So, yes, it's not always spot on, like immediately, but it will eventually be updated. All right, and that annotation thing, please. Thank you so much. All right, anyways, back to it. Let's get started. We got our quote of the day, maybe the games. Ooh, the games. All right. Trust the process. All right. Trust the process. Now, we've heard this a lot because of the Philadelphia 76ers and getting Joel Embiid, who in this first 2 years, he was a bust because he busted up his body and he kept getting hurt. And they just didn't play him for literally 2 years. And you do have to trust the process at some point. They had, I think it was 5 different top 3 picks, something crazy. They messed up with Jahlil Okafor, but and then the other one was New Orleans Noel. All right, but the other 3 were pretty good. No. The other one went off to the Orlando Magic. That was the weird shooter's name. But they did trust the process, and now we're here 10 freaking years later, and they're still struggling to win it all, but I think it's a fantastic quote. You should trust the process, even if the process ends up not exactly being what you want it to be. basketball and sports and life in general, anything like too difficult to do on your own, or even on your own, it's a process. It's not an overnight thing. Right. So, and I learned this valuable lesson from when I was in Taiwan. They did a lot of stupid things, but they did a few great things. And one of them was they were like messing up our plays on offense when we were going on transition by making me pass the ball like 18 times, like in every direction in one play. It was like no one does that. But they were like, listen. Just and a player told me this. He goes, just listen to the coach, because even if he's wrong, if we all go in the same direction, at least we're moving somewhere. All right, now, it was in a stupid direction, but I was like, that's a good point. If all you do is argue, you end up being like the American Congress, basically, in which they just keep arguing. It's always a split, always a divide, and they basically end up doing nothing for the last, 50 years. No, I'll say 40 years. All right, and everyone goes, well, it's better than the bad way. And that's a dumb thing, because you never progress. You should give ideas a chance and things like that. And if you all do go in one direction enough, the person giving the idea, unless it's like Hitler or something like that, will feel dumb about it if it happens to be wildly inaccurate, or maybe people won't follow him. So then his words will bear more weight, and then people will take more responsibility into who they vote for and etc. Right? So in terms of this, trust in the process, you have to get behind a coach or a player or an idea that you truly believe in, and all of us should go there together. And we've all chosen this path, and we can get there together. So for us, it's the focuses. All right. I really put a lot of merit into those focuses, and I put out the video today, the breakdown, and you should write out or type out, all right, all 24 sentences basically. All right. So as you look through it, you get defensive rebounds, a good and a bad clip. All right, or there might be a couple of clips in there, or even 3 clips for one of them. But you can pick one, or you can pick them all, whatever you want to do, and say why that clip is in there. And don't just say the obvious, like he didn't box out. Like, who is he? How did he box out? And you can get incredibly detailed with this. Again, this is our process. And I was looking at the game, man. It was just the first game with the 8th graders, not really with the smaller kids. That might have been, let's be honest, maybe. But with the 8th graders, you guys ended up losing by 30, maybe. I'm not sure. But that was a completely winnable game. If you took all our turnovers, which we had about, 35, 40 turnovers. Average NBA teams average about 15 turnovers a game. All right, if you took all our turnovers, and every time that you threw the ball away to them for a layup, instead of that, you took the ball and threw it out of bounds. Just instead of throwing it away, you threw it out of bounds. I'm not telling you to throw the ball out of bounds, but I'm telling you, if you did that, instead of giving them the ball, you gave it out of bounds so that we could run back, and you stopped all their fast break layups, that would have taken away 40 of their points. They literally had 20 fast break layups with no one within 10 feet of them. Anytime that we were within a foot of them or in front of them, they missed. And we actually rebounded that game because they weren't as big. So if you just threw the ball out of bounds that game, which we don't want to do, we would have won the game by 10. And yet, you guys think that you're so far behind, and when you're not, right? We couldn't score against them. Our shot, their shot was better. All this other stuff. Who cares? Just that. Let alone the other 11 things that we added to, right? And if you want to do this, you can check it out again on our website. All right, you go up here to the Elite Team page. Scroll down. This is the best view for it because the other view is a little dark, the one on YouTube. But if you click here under game footage, here's our playbook. Click here under game footage. You get to see it right here. It's the first one. All right. As you click it, it'll play the entire video. All right, and then you can break it down right here, and you can just write it down. All right, so again, I think on Friday during this show, I will break the entire thing down. So for this play, for instance, this kid shoots it, and I think this is a bad defensive rebound. So watch Who is that guy? Oh, that's the other guy. So watch Aiden right here. This one, let's just watch everyone. All right, so Aiden doesn't, is he going to hit? Is Noah going to hit? Noah isn't even looking at his man right here. Will Noah go toward that guy? Will Jake go toward that guy? Will Taylor go toward that guy? I think he was okay. Aiden wasn't help side this play, so great job for that. Boom. And these guys both boxed out with their butts. All right, when you box out with your butts, you're not going to be anywhere near the play. All right, it's not a good thing. All right, so as the ball goes up, it's basically a jump ball when you box out with your butt. Again, you want to box them out side to side. All right, so again, if I annotated it, all right, right here, let's see where I am. Do I have this? Oh, there we go. All right, so let's see, that guy right there and that guy right there. All right, if you turn your back to them, one, you can't see them for the rebound. Two, you're straight up, and they can just go over your back. So it's not a foul if you do it like that, but you want to block out perpendicularly. And what ends up happening on the jump ball? Boom, he gets it. All right, you should be able to try to force him as far back as you possibly can. All right, so that's what I would point to. Noah ran away from his man. Noah was nowhere near his man. Jake didn't go toward his man. Taylor didn't go toward her man as well. All right, so that's why it's a bad box out. And again, as you go through the whole video and all of these things, you get to see if you could do it. All right, anyone can post, even the high school guys who aren't in the video. A lot of people do that. They're very small-minded, and they think that because they weren't in the video, even if it is their team, they're like, oh, I wasn't there that weekend, I shouldn't post. Like, stop it. You would have made the same mistakes. Go through the video clip by clip and figure it out, and learn to love watching video, because the people that watch video are the smartest players. And it's seeing it right here. And if you can see it right here and walk through it, and I put this stuff together. It took me about 6 hours, I think, total. All right. Yes, it'll take you like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. You just do it. Break it down play by play. Now, video normally is the opposite way. Normally, I take about 10 minutes to post the video, and you watch it for 4 hours. If you're like a great player like Kobe Bryant. But I've made it a lot easier for you guys. So I've put the clips into their broken down pieces so you can watch it and you can figure out why. And I'm not asking that much. I'm just asking why I put it in that particular thing. So get to be a genius of the game, basically. LeBron is getting 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists tonight. Oh, man. Is that like a special number for Martin Luther King Day? I don't know. Just a heads up, Noah M., Jake, and Connor are showing the most leadership this month. I would acquiesce. I would agree. Man, especially, I think Jake, like, that is really taking a turn, and I like it a lot. He's just going for it, and I really admire it. All right. Moving on, we got talked about the quote of the day. Moving on to our elementary school stuff. This is the stuff that we're not going to do for the practices. All right, but it's, and we will do the middle school stuff tomorrow for practices. But this is the elementary, which we will eventually get to, of course. We have horseshoe shooting along the baseline. We got 180 poly for shots. Where we're practicing our poly play. Pick and roll defense. We can get through that. Point guard advance the ball ahead, under 15 seconds up by 4+ points, and then deflections. That one is when we play, if you get any deflections, it counts as a point. So offensively, you want to play without deflections. I noticed during the game, there was one play where they deflected the ball. That means like got their hand on it 3 or 4 times in the same play. And it was because we were trying to throw the ball to the left with our right hand. And it just kept bouncing up and going back to us. Bouncing up, going back. It was like, dude, just twist, pump fake, make a pass with the outside hand. If he goes over there, go around him. I mean, like, it's pretty straightforward and simple, but it's okay. We will work on stuff. You guys were passing the ball like you were 7 feet tall, trying to throw it like this. It's not going to work. All right, you throw the ball to the side of your body with the strong hand. And there was also a play that was mentioned in the video breakdown where little Isaiah, he did it correctly. Passed the ball with the left hand. So great job, Isaiah. Looking at the video also, I got to bring this up. All right, listen carefully. One of the smaller things that we have in our video breakdown is stance. It's just a thing that we say. We're like, stance, we got it. All right, stance should be easy, right? Guys, we can get smacked, but we can't get smacked this way. If we do these 12 things, it's an honorable smackdown. I'm down with that. But when we can't even do the easiest ones, like stance, like get in a stance, that's crazy. All right? Literally, you should be in a stance, I would say, almost all the possession for offense, unless you're screening or sprinting through. You should be in a stance all the possession for defense, unless you're like contesting a shot. And even then, you should be in a stance unless you're on a transition break when you're sprinting down on the court. You should be in a stance 70 to 80% of the game. Like bent down, ready to go 70 to 80% of the game. I want you to watch the entire clip. Like watch the entire video. Try to find, especially with the younger group, but with the older group too, how many times all 5 people were in a stance. I think there's 0. 0 times when all 5 people were in a stance. How many times was anyone in a stance? I would say beside Jake and Zach and Noah, it was extremely rare. Like less than 5 times. Both games are both games that we filmed, every player, both teams. Be in a stance. You guys are standing completely straight up, and that's like the saddest thing ever. I was looking for just a good play in a stance, and it took me forever. That's why it took me 6 hours, because I couldn't find any good plays. It was crazy. So let's take care of the small things so we can have big results. All right. Fake stats. What is this? Ja Morant this season is equivalent to MVP D Rose. I know, a little better than the MVP D Rose. I saw that. Jake is the lead runner. Except he isn't even top 5 at MVP running. D Rose was that. Someone said if that Steph Curry has been bad for the last month, and if that was LeBron James, they would be asking for his head. People do give Steph a lot of leeway, but I think without Kevin Durant in the running, it might just be Steph's for the keeping. I don't know. They might just forgive his stats too because Clay's back, and they'll just give it to him just because he started off so well. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right. Homework. Let's check the homework. Who's posting? We got Connor Rush with the 5-minute rush. Nice job. I love that it's spelled like your last name. That's like the dopest name that we have. So go ahead and finish that thing so we can add it. I think I'm gonna add it at least after you do it for a straight month. I'm going to add it to our challenges for everyone to do. Noah posted yesterday. Let's see if you post today, Noah. All right. Our picture of the day. Oh, yeah, we got all the trade stuff. Again, I showed Connor my entire plan. This morning from like 7 to like 7:30. And, oh, yeah, he was aching and like tired. I don't think he wanted to watch it, but he watched it with his mom. And my entire project it's enormous. All right. It would be basically like we're gonna have like 16 NBA teams in the Colorado area for every grade level. We'll be hyping you up. Every team every year will get redrafted, but they get to keep their top five players. How do you think you would act under those situations? Where if they kept you, if you're one of the top 5 of 12 or 15 players, they would have to keep you from trying out. Once you got into the tryout, anything can happen. Anyone can pick you up, including no one could pick you up. How much harder would you try if it was like do or die like that? Well, that's kind of like how high school basketball is, except there's not that many people, right? This will be even bigger. Now imagine the NBA. There's a trade deadline, man. Everyone was hustling. And the Lakers didn't even play yesterday. And the phrase trade Westbrook was trending on Twitter as number 1 during the NFL playoffs. It was bigger than Tom Brady was trade Westbrook on a Laker day off. So imagine being that. Imagine the pressure of all that. Would it be fun? Would it be hard? Well, these guys go through it, and I would love to put you guys through it because pressure makes diamonds, man. I don't give Steph any slack. He's playing like his brother, except shooting 15% worse. Indeed. But they have to give the MVP to someone. They got to give it to somebody. All right. Let's get a quick commercial break and come back with the trivia question and a few other things. I love that commercial. It looks so deep. Yes, Vision Eye Care. All right. So great job, old Connor Rush from 8 months ago. All right. So yes, we're here on Martin Luther King Day talking about our stuff, Limitless Hoops. Make sure that you guys get the book. Make sure you guys do the stuff. All right. Next one is the stuff that we will be doing tomorrow. Is the middle school stuff. All right. We got drives and rotations. That could have helped, but we did actually do a great drive. I'm not sure which one that I put it under. I actually put it under a bad one because no one crashed the offensive boards. But it was a great drive by Zach along the baseline. And I think Carson just ended up being on the baseline. But yes, it was a perfect pass, and that's where Carson should be. Now you should rotate there. But yes, and if the opposite post player rotated up, it would have been an even wider open basket for either the post player or for Carson. But we will work on that on Tuesday, drives and rotations. All right. And then we have 180 tangent for shots. All right. That's just running our tangent play. So we'll get a whole bunch of reps through it while getting up shots. Hopefully you guys understand it by then. Down screen, screen away. We also had a chance to do this one. And although Taylor's been through it before, we haven't really talked about it during our practices. But if they set an on ball, if they set a down screen for you, you know how we have three options when we come off the down screen, whether we curl, go into it, or flare to the corner or whatever. All right. For this one, for the defense, we want to always come down the middle. So basically force them to flare, I guess you can say. All right. But when the other defender who's guarding the screener steps off, he'll let you through so you can guard them without even having to worry about the flare. All right. You can stay mirrored with them by splitting apart and going on one side of the screen because the person setting the screen is not allowed to move. That is to your benefit. But only if the person guarding the screener steps off. That's what we'll be talking about. And for the screen away part, we have not touched on that yet. When they screen away, we want a lane roll. All right. 3 for layup and shot. This is a very complicated one. I think I'm going to try to do a real practice tomorrow. Just go through. If you don't understand it, I'll throw you with the small kids. If you do understand it, I'll throw you with the big kids, like that. And we'll just go and do it and just get a whole bunch of reps up. So for the kids that know it, I'm no longer gonna hold you guys back because I hate when you guys have to slow down. You guys are like, I get it. These idiots don't get it. I don't know what's going on. So we'll definitely take care of that. So 10 minutes each for all of these things. 10-second tie game. If there's 10 seconds in this tie game, we have offense and defensive strategies. All right, for the defense, you do not foul. Don't foul, don't foul, don't foul. But also get a hand in their face. You can switch every single screen as well. Make sure that they take a tough shot. For offense, make sure that we get the last shot. We want the last shot, no matter what. And we don't want to go too late. You want to try to drive to create for others. Don't get a turnover. If you mess up, just hold the ball and armadillo it. I heard a dad screamed that one time to a girl who dove for a loose ball. It was like crazy. He's just like, armadillo! And she just instantly curled around the ball. And I was like, they practice that at home. That's amazing. The last one is 10 plus seconds down by 3 with free throws, sideline out of bounds. All right, there's 12 seconds left and you're down by 3. I would say you don't need to hit a 3 right away. You want to get the ball in bounds, penetrate, and then kick. All right. Since you had free throws though, you might be down by 2, down by 1 if you're on defense. You would want to, I would say, make them make the tough shot. All right. But since there's 10 plus seconds, don't be surprised if they just go straight to the basket. So be aware of all that stuff. All right. Let's go with our trivia question for the day real quick. Trivia question is, who was the first NBA player to record 1,000 assists in a season? That's the trivia question for the day. Who was the first NBA player to record 1,000 assists in an NBA season? I have options here, but I would guess it would be that guy. Dang it, I was wrong. What? Oh, that is hilarious. This guy was actually in the news. Yes, because of someone that they thought was his son, and they said he pulled the trigger like his son, or like his dad did, because this guy's name is Junior. But it turns out that his dad actually killed someone, and his dad was not the former NBA player, even though they have the same name and his name is Junior. But yes, it's not Isaiah Thomas. Nice guess. Anyways, if you guess it, I'll guess by the end, John Stockton. Now, that is not it either. But there's 7 people online. The other 4 of you guys want to take a guess, go ahead and put it in there. The first NBA player to record 1,000 assists in a season. He actually broke Nate Archibald's record of 910. The first guy to record 1,000 assists in an NBA season. All right, moving on. We got our high school stuff. It's stuff that we're not going to do as well, but it's spin move series. 2-on-2-on-2, triangle, force post, middle, poly, and pyramid. 0 to 3 seconds up by 3, 10 plus seconds down by 3 with free throws. This is the stuff that we did last time. All right, Finn Coffin, you did. That is your second guess, though. That's your second guess. That is not correct. You say Isaiah Thomas did it before Kevin Porter? Let's see. Kevin Porter says a 4-time assist leader during his 10-year NBA career. Porter broke the record in 1978. Isaiah Thomas wasn't even playing then. I don't know. So you say Kevin Porter didn't get 1,000 assists in the season. Is that what you're saying? Kevin Porter, 1,000 assists. Let's see. First in the NBA with 1,000 assists in a season. Yep. Kevin Porter. Wikipedia says, additionally, he was the first player to record over 1,000 assists in a single season. It would be another 5 years till a player would do it. So, nope. Kevin Porter's right. Stop making up stuff, dude. And watch the story of the day.
Work in such a way that if success were to come upon you by accident, you'd still deserve it. Sometimes much of what we deem as success is a lot of dumb luck. But whether you deserve it or not is worth more than any accolade you could win or lose.
All right, so this is a very complicated one. Listen, you can have success because your dad just gave it to you. You can have success because you got lucky. You can fail even though you tried your hardest. Whether you fail or succeed is not indicative of how hard that you tried. It's not. The only thing that you can do is take care of your end of the bargain, and that's to try your hardest. So even if you luckily succeeded, or like your dad gave it to you, or like whatever, you just randomly someone chose you by lottery that you succeeded, you earned it because you put in the work. Now you don't know when that's going to happen. Sitting on your couch and being lazy, hoping to succeed, hoping that someone just calls your name, doesn't carry the same weight, even if you do succeed. You might still succeed by doing nothing. Absolutely. You might still make the team, whatever. And you might still fail if you try your hardest. It's not the end result that matters. It's what you put into it. All right? And most people don't learn this lesson until they're like 70 or 60. It's stupid, man. Learn it now because it's the most obvious thing in the world. All right? Because all the accolades, all those trophies, all those whatever, don't mean anything if you didn't put your all into it. Because for basketball especially, tall people win. Who cares? I mean, if I won just because I was tall, I would hate that. And that's actually what was part of the reason that I worked so hard when I was growing up. Because I hated that feeling. They're like, if I was as tall as you, if I was black, if I was that, it's like, no, shut up, dude. I work harder than you too. I also work harder than you. And I put in so much effort just to shut those haters up. And every time I saw someone my size, my everything, I would want to beat them so badly, man. because that guy had everything that I have, and I want a cake is but to prove that I work hard. And if I see someone who was born with more natural gifts than me, I would want to come close to them. And I would want to find out their workout routine and make sure that I worked harder than them. That's all that mattered. All right? Because sometimes you're born with a lot, sometimes you're born with a little, but all that matters is what you do with it in the meantime. All right? I think there's a quote that says, like, life is not about, like, what you end up having. It's about what you, like, do with the gifts that were given to you, basically. It's how you make the most of the gifts that were given to you. All right, what do we have here? Why would Bleacher Report lie, though? You guys still talking about that? All right. Anyways, you guys, thank you for joining us. Happy Martin Luther King Day once again. Anyone showing up to the workout tonight? That's a holiday bonus, dude. All right, you had no school. You want to work out anyways? That's a baller status. Anyways, I will see y'all then. Don't use the phrase blackballing on Martin Luther King Day. Come on, man. Dang. Disrespectful. Anyways, you guys, that's my time. I'm out, and I will talk to y'all later. All right, happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. Cue my music, please. There we go. Oh, some screams. Music. Come on.